Since that 2015 run, Steph Curry had already established himself as the greatest shooter the game had ever seen. He had changed the geometry of the game, becoming the first ever unanimous MVP. But somehow it still wasn't enough. They said he needed Kevin Durant to win. They said he was too small to carry a team on his own. They said without a super team, he wasn't that guy. Then came 2022 with everything on the line. It was starting to look like they might be right, but on June 10th, Steph Curry didn't just respond. That day showed everyone that he was a basketball god.
6 assists for Green. Curry a long three. It's good! Steph Curry from way downtown. Some Curry chaos here in the third. It's the largest lead of the game.
The crazy thing about Steph Curry's 2022 title run was that, like a god who could see the future, he called it.
Tried to make the most of it, come back, bottle this up, everybody make the right strides, take advantage of the summer, and don't want to see us next year.
That was Steph Curry in 2021, right after the season ended. No championship and no finals run. It was a down moment for the team. Just a couple of seasons earlier, the Golden State Warriors were untouchable, a dynasty, a machine. But then everything collapsed. Kevin Durant left, Klay Thompson tore his ACL, then his Achilles. Steph himself missed almost an entire season. And just like that, the team that once ruled the league became irrelevant. From finals to the bottom of the standings. From dominance to doubt.
And it was different because we were tested in a way that, was new.
For Steph, this was unfamiliar territory. No super team, no safety net, no guarantees. Just him trying to drag a broken roster back to relevance in a league that had already moved on. New stars were rising, new teams were taking over. And for the first time in a long time, Steph Curry wasn't the center of the basketball world anymore. But greatness doesn't disappear. It waits. And by 2022, Steph had dragged the Warriors all the way back to the biggest stage in basketball, the NBA Finals. But this time it was different. No Durant, no overwhelming talent gap. Just Steph against one of the best defenses in the league, the Boston Celtics. Down 2-1 in the series, it seemed like the journey was over. But a basketball god never quits. So he doubled down.
We sitting there, and he just like, enjoy y'all last win.
This was Steph's legacy on the line, because if Steph lost this series, then everything they said about him would stick. That he couldn't carry, that he needed help, that he wasn't built for the moment. So, with Game 4 coming, on the road against the best defense in basketball, with his legacy hanging in the balance, this wasn't about proving he was great anymore. This was about proving he could still be the guy.
Look at a post-up Tatum. Curry launches a three. It's good. Steph Curry with his third three-pointer.
From the very start, you could feel it. The tension, the urgency, the weight of the moment. This wasn't just another finals game. This was the game that would decide everything. The Golden State Warriors were down 2-1, on the road, in the Garden. And across from them, a young, hungry Boston Celtics team that smelled blood. One more loss and the series was basically over. Boston knew exactly what this game meant, so they built their entire defense around one man, Steph Curry. They picked him up early, switched every screen, threw length, physicality, and constant pressure at him. They weren't going to let him breathe, because if Steph didn't take over, then the Warriors had no chance. And early on, it looked like it was working. The offense was stagnant, shots weren't falling, the Warriors were struggling to keep up. At halftime, they were down. And once again, Steph was being asked to do the impossible.
Marcus Thompson, the Athletic. Klay, have you seen Steph play with or show that amount of emotion before? And what did you see from how he took over this game?
I
think I have seen him show that much emotion, and the heart on that man is incredible. You know, the things he does, we kind of take for granted from time to time, but to go out there and put us on his back. And
even his own teammates could see it. They knew what was coming because they had seen this before. Moments where everything falls apart and Steph has to carry it all. This wasn't the free-flowing Warriors system anymore. This wasn't about ball movement or spacing. This was about one question. Could Steph Curry carry a team when it mattered most? Because if he couldn't, then every criticism would finally be proven right. And that's what made this moment different. This wasn't just pressure, this was legacy pressure. Because if the Warriors were going to survive this game, it wasn't going to be because of the system. It wasn't going to be because of the roster. It was going to be because of Steph Curry. And in the second half, the basketball god answered.
I don't know, I hit that one shot and I started like yelling at the crowd. I was like, this is gonna be a different motherfucking game. I said that.
There's always a moment in games where everything changes. Not gradually, not subtly, just one sequence, one shot, and suddenly the entire energy of the game flips. For Steph, that moment came in the third quarter. Up until then, he had been carrying the load, trying to keep the Golden State Warriors within reach. But Boston's defense was still disciplined, still physical, still convinced they could wear him down over 4 quarters. And then he found his rhythm.
Rushing on the boards. Curry. It's good. Steph Curry from downtown.
The shots started falling, but more importantly, they started feeling inevitable. Pull-ups in transition, step-backs over contests, floaters in traffic. It didn't matter what the Boston Celtics threw at him. Steph had an answer. And that's when you could see it. He had entered that space players always talk about. The zone, where the defense feels a step too slow, where the rim looks just a little bigger, where every decision is instant and almost always right.
Curry to Payton. Payton had all the time in the world. Curry three-pointer. Puts it in.
By the time the third quarter was winding down, the numbers were already starting to tell the story. He wasn't just scoring, he was shifting the entire game. Every possession ran through him. Every defensive adjustment was about him. And yet it still wasn't enough to stop him. Boston had built one of the best defenses in the league on discipline and versatility. They had size, they had length, and they had multiple elite defenders to throw at a single player. But in that stretch, none of it mattered, because this wasn't about schemes anymore. This was about a player who had decided the game wasn't going to slip away.
What do you think of Steph's performance and impact tonight?
It's huge. We wouldn't have won without him. And I mean, I don't even know if you can say besides 43-10, because 43-10 is crazy, especially in the NBA Finals. So he's our leader, and that's what he does. So huge game by him, and we needed that.
And as the third quarter ended, one thing had become very clear. Steph Curry wasn't just responding to pressure, he was starting to take control of it. Boston had the best defense in the league. They threw everything at him: switches, traps, physicality, elite defenders. And it didn't matter. And that's exactly what it became. A different game, a different version of Steph. He wasn't just making shots, he was breaking the defense possession after possession.
We threw at them, it's like they had an answer for it. And 9 times out of 10, the answer was just Steph.
That's when you know it's over. Not when the score says it, but when the opponent realizes there's nothing they can do. He scored 43 points on elite efficiency against the best defense in basketball. And somehow, it still felt bigger than the numbers.
You know, a couple of those threes probably should have been
and maybe some second shots.
Curry again. Oh, Steph Curry from way downtown.
But not even the refs could slow him down. As for Boston fans,
Up his third on a chance for a three-point play. He is a unique individual and a gifted.
even the crowd knew what was happening. They just couldn't stop it. At the end of the day, we all knew it. He had called it from the end of the previous season, before anyone else was ready, and even before the experts who doubted him had formulated their doubts.
Put us on his back, willed us to a win, much needed win. Game we had to have. Came out and showed why he's one of the best players to ever play this game.
This wasn't just a great performance, this was control. Total control of a finals game on the road with everything on the line.
It is no question this is the greatest performance of Steph Curry's career.
That night didn't just tie the series, it changed everything. Steph went on to win the championship, won his first finals MVP, and silenced every narrative that had followed him for years. He can't carry a team? He did. He needed KD? He proved he didn't. He wasn't clutch enough. He just delivered when it mattered most. And that's why June 10th, 2022 was the day Steph Curry didn't just play like a superstar, he showed everyone he was a basketball god. And if you want to see another moment where greatness turned into legend, watch one of these Steph Curry videos next.